What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah, and you're watching this video on Sunday, May 17th, 2026 at 10:50 a.m. MST. And this week, Anna and Aaron are my extra, and I am the ordinary. Friends, you both encourage me so much. I think one of the words that was spoken over you at your ordination ceremony on November 11th, 2022 is so apropos to who you guys are as a couple, is that Aaron, they referred to you as a mighty oak tree that provides shade for so many people. You're so quiet. Your quiet gentleness lends to such authority when you speak in the Lord. And Anna said that the song that is within you draws so many people to you, and that the two of you in covenant relationship together works so beautifully that people come to your song, Anna, and then rest under the shade of the ministry that Aaron has. Both of you have blessed me so much in the Lord, and I bless you in Jesus' name. Friends, we're coming up on rolling over into 8 billion people. I've had my gear set up for the greater part of the day, been watching my counter. Population is growing at about 7,600 people per hour. So I've got it timed so we can merge into that rollover together and celebrate what God is doing in the earth. But I wanted to press into the blessing of Aaron and Anna in my life. Back in 2022, we held an ordination service for them on November 11th, 2022, a Friday. Now, merging into the celebration, I had gotten an upper respiratory infection. I had pink eye. I think I may have had COVID, I'm not sure, but was just feeling horrible. I wanted to be there with them. That presence is a function of proximity, and I didn't want to pray for them from distance. I wanted to be there with them in person and celebrate what the Lord was doing. I texted Aaron and told him that I would be in this gear closet that's up these stairs off to the left from the stage at C3. I snuck into the church, sat up there in the dark, and prayed for them during the entire ceremony. And it was such a beautiful time that as I started hearing voices milling about and getting lower and lower, and they finally turned off the music, I decided to come back out and sneak out a side door. When I came down the bottom stairs, Aaron saw me coming around the back side of the sanctuary, beelined straight over for me. He said, "You spiritual ninja, I knew you were up there. Thank you so much for praying for us." And then said, "Can I pray for you?" That was so beautiful, testimony of the Lord's goodness that he prayed for me. From that time moving forward, I didn't have a cough. I wasn't sick anymore. That God healed me that night. It was such a beautiful testimony to the grace and goodness of Jesus. But Aaron also prophesied over me in that time as well. He said, "You're in a period of time where you have been relegated to the shadows, and a lot of people don't see you, that you're in a place that's dark, but that the Lord sees you." And he admonished me not to miss the time of sweetness with the Lord, of spending time with Jesus in the shadows, that the time was coming when that extended time with Jesus in that secret place wouldn't be as prevalent, and not to ignore the time where Jesus's eye was upon me in the shadowed secret place. Aaron, in that time you asked me, does that mean anything to you? Is that encouraging? Yes, it was very encouraging. You were speaking with precise accuracy, and this is part of the fulfillment of all that you said. Friends, during this time period of getting to sit in the secret place, in the shadows, it gives me extra time to sit and ponder with the Lord, to write and to journal. The massive stack of notebooks here to my left is half of all of my notebooks that I've journaled in over the years. It's this huge accumulation that's building a testimony of what the Lord is doing in my life in a secret shadow space. Now, as I've pressed into this, I have so many dates and times and details. I had to write notes for this video. I can't keep them all straight. But after praying for a season of time, time about Extraordinary Life with Elijah and the crawl space from the dream where he revealed it to me on the March 17th dream, that I then received that seed of revelation and then stewarded it in the crawl space for quite a while before I began my first recording on Friday, February 14th, 2020. Now, from Friday, February 14th, 2020 to Thursday, August 17th, 2023, it's 1,280 days. So halfway between those two dates is Monday, November 15th, 2021. Now, it's so beautiful that during that time I was posting my videos on Mondays, and my post landed exactly at the halfway point. Now, one of the most mind-bending moments of God's impeccable timing was that then I got to record my video on Thursday, November 11th, 2021, on Remembrance Day, on my grandpa Barnes's property, as me and my brother and dad spent a day of remembrance, remembering my grandpa Scheidler, that we celebrated his life and then planted his remains on Thursday, November 11th, 2021, on Remembrance Day. Back in 2022, I'd been journaling late into the night on November 10th, 2022. I passed midnight, and just as I passed midnight, I finished my 49th supplemental book. Now, I have a whole series of journals. It's a whole system that I have for all of my journaling, but I finished my 49th book and began my 50th book, SB 50, on Friday, November 11th, 2022 at 12:11 a.m., Remembrance Day. 1 year later to the day that celebrating that my grandpa Barnes had died, had been killed in a head-on collision at 49 years old. And that then 1 year later, after that remembrance, to the day that I finished my 49th journal and began my 50th journal, to the day at 12:11 a.m. I don't know if you remember the title of my first video, which was In Loving Remembrance. And then what about my video that I posted for Ruby May's Day at the beginning of season 7? That it was 11/11/11. And then 7 days later, again, I posted on her 11-year, 11-month, and 11th day anniversary, all in remembrance. And then remember, when was my grandpa Barnes's birthday? It was on March 11, 3/11, and I celebrated his life on his property that he purchased for $11,000 and was 11 acres that I recorded on 11/11. Wild, impeccable, flawless, perfect timing. All of that happening on Thursday, November 11th, 2021. And then 1 year later, that I would finish my 49th journal and then start my 50th journal just past midnight on Friday, November 11th, 2022, going into the Wednesday, November 15th, 2022, and 8 billion people. Now, all of this is flowing out of time spent with Jesus in the secret and in the shadows. I started SB01, my very first supplemental book, on May 31st, 2005. That's 17 years, 5 months, and 11 days before the start of my 50th journal. There have been hours, days, and years of time spent with Jesus in the secret space, sometimes journaling with Jesus by myself for my longest period straight was 18 hours. I prayed in the crawl space about Extraordinary Life with Elijah for years before I recorded my very first episode, I started on Friday, February 14th, 2020, such that November 15th, 2021 would be the exact halfway mark. And then 1 year later, exactly from my halfway point, we hit 8 billion people in the world. Like, the timing of God's movements in my life to write thousands of pages. I often wonder if you took all of the lines of all of the words of all of the journals that I've scribbled in, and you put all of those lines end to end to end, how many miles of scratching is that? That all of that has happened in the dark, in the shadow space, and that God has merged all of it to the impeccable day of 8 billion people, 50 journals filled, over 17 years, 5 months, and 11 days. My goodness. Friends, so what's the point? I am serving to please my Father's heart through the exercise of my gifts to impart grace to you so that you can know my Father more. As Aaron prophesied over me, again, things that he did not know, but that God was speaking through him. I'd taken one of my little LED MC lights with me and put its little dome on. It has an effect that's a fireplace effect, and I turned it down to 6% and put it on the floor so that I'd have kind of a little moving candle light burning at my feet while I was up there in the dark. Towards the end of the time, God told me to pick up my light and to lift it up above myself as a beacon, that arise and shine, for your light has come. The glory of the Lord has risen upon you. I'm rising to shine to let my good works so shine before you all that you can see my good works, but glorify my Father in heaven. As I waved my light, the Father said, I want you to turn your light all the way up. So I rolled the dial from 6% all the way up to 100%. And then after time, the Father said, turn off the light and sit in the dark. That out of Isaiah, he spoke, you have said in your heart, we will walk according to the light of our own torches. But I tell you, the end result of this is you will lay down in terror. I didn't want that, so I turned off my light. I said, yes, Father, I will sit in the dark with you. I walked down the stairs, and then Aaron begins to prophesy over my life. He stopped prophesying. He opened his eyes and said, do you have a fireplace at your house? I said, I do. He said, oh, that's so great. Awesome. And he went right back to prophesying. And he said, as you sit in your house, as you sit and you see fires, you see low burning candles, that as you see flames flickering, that you'll know that God is building a fire in your heart that will not be able to be contained. That there will be a time when the fire that God is building within you in the secret space will break forth and no one will be able to hide it. Oh, friends, Aaron had no idea what was going on up in the storage room, but that God is building a flame in me in the dark as I rest with him that is empowering me to arise and to shine, to cause the light of my good works to shine before you all so that you can see them, but glorify my Father in heaven. Fam, my encouragement is that your destiny will lead you into your destination. That as my Father leads me forward with 17 plus years of journaling, you can't do that in a day. I can't have 50 journals on the day and write them all in a day. Your destiny will lead you into your destination. That your movement towards a position of ruling in the palace is presided over by a process guided within the joy of Jesus's presence. You're just now seeing this video on Sunday, May 17th, 2026, and we are way past 8 billion people. But here's my point. Look at the intricate, intimate fingerprints of my Father's purposes demonstrated in my life, and know that He has the same purposes of goodness for each and every one of the 8+ billion people in the world now, that He has intricate and intimate plans to guide you into impeccable, flawless timing of goodness set out for you. He's had individual plans for each individual throughout all time and history. Guys, this is absolutely mind-blowing. God's plans and His ways, I'll never understand them fully, but I have so much fun trying to understand them. Strength rises as we wait on the Lord, and the ability to be able to run with horses in the light of day and not grow weary comes from a place of resting with Jesus in intimacy in the dark. Now is my time of waiting, of being unseen, of being in the secret space. But the time is going to come when I'll be with you all and running in my race. Rest is the task of building strength in the dark to be able to run hard in the spotlight. I ain't straining. I'm training with my dad by resting in the dark. If you subscribe to what I am doing, then hit the button, hit it and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you love this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on our lives together. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video, which starts very soon. I'm gonna move some stuff around so we can follow along together with the numbers right on track. But Aaron, I so appreciate the encouragement of your very gentle, authentic, unassuming prophetic voice. Now to get set up. And we have the new set up. That took quite a bit longer than I had anticipated. Oh man, I started getting a little nervous looking at 7999999. You only get one shot at this. So a little nervous going into this, but it's all good. Got the skills to tag this thing. What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And today we are the extra and Jesus is our ordinary.